Let me know when you're ready. Thumbs up. Okay. Welcome to the Pearl L. Crawford Memorial Library Board of Trustees meeting, Tuesday, January 11th, 2022. First order of business, Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we haven't seen each other in a very long time. So we go way back to October. Review of meeting minutes from October 26th. And I will accept the motion.
Motion to approve as presented.
Second.
All in favor? We have to do a roll call vote.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I
Oh,
need to announce
yeah.
that, I'm sorry. I need to announce that Nicole, can you say your last name, please? Kucherov is on speakerphone with us. She was unable to be present this evening. So, we'll do a roll call vote.
Pat Court, aye. Kathy Sandstrom, aye.
Joyce Narodzinski, aye.
Ben Craver, aye.
Up to you.
Nicole Kucherov, aye.
All right.
All right. And November 9th, meeting minutes.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in
Pat
favor?
Court, aye. Pat Court, aye. Kathy Sandstrom, aye.
Joyce Narodzinski, aye.
Ben Craver, aye.
Nicole Kucherov, aye.
Thank you. And director's report.
So starting with programs, we have heard from the Dudley Cultural Council, and we got, I believe, 3, it might have been 2, grants to cover programs for summer reading this coming year. And then we also received a grant for a program to have an adult storyteller for adults come, and she will be here just before Halloween doing ghost stories for
And
grown-ups.
where did that grant come from?
The Dudley Cultural Council.
That one came from them too?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought it was someone else. Okay.
So we appreciate their support as always. And then we have also heard that an artist, a local artist had applied for a grant to do a display in our, in the Fells Room, and he has received that. So we're going back and forth trying to schedule when works for him to be there. But
So he applied and
he applied. Yes. When it comes to budget, so we have gotten the memo from John Ruda requesting budget proposals, or budget requests for the town. We have been told not to ask for anything. Fortunately, in our case, because of the increase to staff hourly wages and then Lita's salary and assuming my salary, we should, I'll have to double check, but we should meet the requirement from the state to have a minimum increase.
meet the bar.
Yeah, because of that increase that's sort of already built in. But other than that, like I said, we've been told not to ask for anything. This funding is tight, so I'm just going to turn in essentially a flat budget from last year. And then I also am planning to remind John Ruda that we were due in the capital plan to have our carpet replaced last year.
Oh, I thought this is like 3 years, isn't it?
It's going on, like
It's like
it
a
was
couple of
supposed to be,
years.
and then it was, okay, we're gonna do it next year, and
Right.
it hasn't happened yet, so I'm just going to remind him that that is becoming more urgent, as the carpet, especially in some of the heavily trafficked areas, is starting to desperately need it.
Well, I wouldn't want it to become a safety risk, so I
Yes.
think it's really important to
but
put
so-
in for that.
So I'm going to,
Yeah.
there's already like how much, I think it's at 100,000 that the line item is in the capital plan, so I'm just going to ask that that be included in the budget request, so that we can get that done hopefully in the next year.
Before you submit the budget request, I do want to talk to you about it, that's all.
Okay.
So we'll discuss that.
And then facility reports. We are immensely grateful to Renard, which was here to do the standard HVAC maintenance and whatnot, and discovered a gas leak while they were at it, which none of us would have known was there because it was in the attic. So he found it while he was doing sort of his regular check, and that has now been repaired, which is excellent. We will not blow up, at least not this week. Also on the facility front, I would like to ask the board to put out an RFP for a new digital sign to meet the specifications. Needs to fit the existing frame piece.
Yep.
10 millimeter, which is the spacing between lights. So 10 millimeter is a higher quality than the one we had. Certainly would allow us to do more things.
Is that like pixels?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
It's how many millimeters are between
Getting to-
little
okay,
lights.
yep, okay.
And the one we had was something like 17, I think we figured out, and so this would be a higher quality one.
Nice.
And the measurements that I've gotten kind of vary, but if you say it needs to fit the existing cabinet, that does that. And then we'd like it to have cellular communications, not Wi-Fi, because that's more reliable, with a lifetime data plan. So that would all be included.
What do you mean lifetime data plan?
Well, it would be like having a cell phone.
Okay.
You need data
Uh-huh.
to go with.
Yep.
So the purchase price of the sign would include.
So it wouldn't be an added bill? Or
No, it would
it'd be a
it would
one-time
as
fee.
part of buying this thing.
Okay.
You get a lifetime data plan to allow you to communicate from anywhere.
Okay.
Anywhere that you have cell access, you can communicate. So you
Uh-huh.
would not need the dedicated terminal that
Okay.
you had with the old one. We'd be able to update it remotely from any place that you had. There's an app on your phone.
Yep.
For most of them now, so you just go in and you get to say, we're closed because of snow or whatever.
Yep.
But so we want a sign that meets that specification. And it looks like there are a couple of options for places that should be able to meet that, based on talking to companies, but if that meets with the board's approval, I will talk to John Ruda and have an RFP put out, so that we can officially start figuring out how much this is gonna cost and get a sign working.
Okay.
How about something to say, something about services, that's been an issue.
Yeah, well, I mean, we can put something in about,
Local service?
Local
I
service.
don't know how to say
Yeah.
that, but I
That was
mean,
really
we do
our
not want you in
issue.
Florida.
Right.
Yeah, that was
Exactly.
really the issue, is that there was no local service available, so you put something in about local
I'd
service.
Yeah.
say something, in there.
Yeah.
I don't know how you want to word it, but.
I think that's a good idea.
Timely
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes
I mean,
sense.
do we need a vote for that? I think we all agree that's something we really need.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this would just be getting the RFP, and then we'd get bids, and then the board would have to vote on which one, so.
And that's perfect for the endowment, because that's a want, not a need, so
Yeah.
that wouldn't affect budget,
Right.
Yeah.
you know.
I'll accept the motion if you.
I'll make a motion to go forward with the RFP for a new sign.
Second?
Okay. And all in favor, roll call vote, please.
Pat Court, aye.
Kathy Sandstrom, aye. Joyce Narodzinski, aye.
And Craver, aye.
Nicole Kucherov, aye.
We just keep doing this to make sure you're not falling asleep.
I'm here. I'm really glad that they found the gas leak. And
He
really
came,
hope that this sign works this time.
yeah, the guy came downstairs, and, I mean, it's the same guy who's done stuff from Renaud, I don't know how many times, and he stuck his head in my office, like, do you have a minute? And I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah, really.
And he was like, okay, I want to start by saying I've turned, like, it's not an immediate danger, because I was like, gas leak, do I have to evacuate the building? But they were there the next morning at 7:30 to fix it, and I was like, you fix it, please. Make it happen, and he
Good.
rearranged his schedule. So
That's awesome, they came so fast.
yeah, and he
That is a
rearranged his
priority,
schedule so
yeah.
he could be there the next day to fix it, so that was really great.
Yeah, that's good. All right. So we're done with programs, budget, and facility. I know you did send us something from MLA.
Yes.
With a request. With that. Actually, I wanted to go to programming a little bit. I guess I'm missing, I was looking at programming, I was looking, who gives you the attendance? Because like I look at it on the calendar there sometimes to see, because I'm not at every program. Who gives you the numbers, or who puts the numbers in?
We do. The staff does.
The staff, okay, so the staff.
We all do. Like last night, I was counting people who were at the
Yeah.
at the
Yep.
event. Yeah.
I just missed, I was looking on here, did I miss the, I didn't see a number, maybe they didn't take a number, that's why you don't have it. When you did the crafts, not Bemis, but you did the adult crafts.
Well, that you two.
Yeah.
Yeah, you and Lita did that, I don't see it on there.
Oh, that's because this is, oh, did I miss putting it in here? I may have. This is one of those that takes,
It would have been Saturday.
no, actually, that was technically in November.
So I printed November's though, and it's not in November's either.
I don't know.
All right. No, I was just curious about that one, I was like,
we
oh, I
were
never
full
got a number
up.
on that one.
We had the
Yeah.
full number of people. I don't know, typing, by the time you get that number of programs, and they're all written on our big calendar sheet.
All right, so MLA?
So we heard from MLA,
I printed it out.
and I forwarded the email to everybody.
Yep.
They would like to, so we had already approved a structural engineer, a bid for a structural engineer. So what they're asking is if we can have them resubmit so that the contract would go through Studio MLA, which would mean that they would work with the architects primarily and not with us, which actually to me makes sense. They should be talking to the architects, not to me. So it would be-
Structural engineer
yes.
contract, they want to
Yes.
go through MLA.
So we had awarded, the board had awarded the contract for structural engineer,
Mhm.
who's FBRA.
Mhm.
But the way that the contract was worded is they report to me and I tell them what to do. And you really want the architect to be telling them what to do? Because I don't know. So it's just a simple matter of saying, we need the contract to be resubmitted. Exactly the same thing, but with Studio MLA instead of the library.
So the prices remain the same.
Everything would be the same except who they report to.
Okay, I just didn't know that by
Yeah,
her
that's-
thing, I was
yeah,
like,
I was
I don't know what was
confused.
different.
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah, no,
understand
that's-
going through them,
That's
what's
what
different.
this is, so that the contract goes to the studio instead of the contract going through us means that they are the studio MLA would be the people doing the direct supervision, which to me makes sense, because
So they
otherwise they're
hired
gonna
them
have. But I mean, it makes sense to me because
Yeah.
that cuts out me as the middleman, saying, oh, studio MLA says do this.
So, several weeks ago, I put in a call to our town building inspector. And due to the holiday and whatever, I only talked to him about a week ago. And, kind of told him that, they want all these engineers, and I'm not really sure what ones we definitely should have, what ones can we say, no, we don't necessarily need to have that engineer. And everything has to go through the town and be inspected and approved. And so I just gave him a very brief overview, and he said that we really should talk to Bill Scanlon, the town planner. So he was going to get me in touch with him, but that hasn't happened, him getting in touch with me, so I stopped by his office today and met with him, and he asked if we could send him the materials, and he would review it with us. He'd like to see it a couple of days by himself, and then he could probably guide us through what is definitely a necessity. Should we definitely have all these engineers on board, or who can we eliminate, and, what is...
Good.
I just feel
And you
that
felt
none of us
comfortable
have.
I was saying, you felt comfortable talking to him though, that he knew what he was
Yes.
doing? Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good,
now
good,
the
good.
structural engineer, we have already, the board has already awarded that, so,
Mhm.
that one we're stuck with at this point.
So, but at this stage of the game, I would like to hold off and table making any further decisions until Bill can guide us and Bill can come in and give us some input. I don't know how the board feels about that, but I just will put that out there.
I'm good with it.
No, I chimed in, I said that sounded makes sense, as long as it's somebody, if somebody on this board were an engineer,
Right,
then I'd feel
right.
comfortable, but this is a town asset, let's use it.
Right, and so my feeling is, I was gonna ask Drusilla, do we have things on email, like in email
Yeah, of
format?
course.
Because I have my personal stuff, but I don't wanna have to copy all that stuff.
I'll send it to Bill.
So if you could send it to Bill, that would be great.
And then the final thing on here is the arborist. So instead of hiring an arborist to start work now, they want to
That makes sense.
They
That
may
makes
have
sense.
him later, so I'll just tell them that, I mean, that made a
Yep.
lot of sense to me, so.
Yep.
And there's at least one tree that may take itself down, and then we won't have to pay someone to do it.
As long as it doesn't
Not
take
on
down
the library or
wires or the
somebody's
building.
home,
I'm
Yeah,
okay
no,
with that.
it's, they didn't seem worried about it damaging, but all of the arborists who walked around the lot were like,
That's not long for this world.
I think we were doing that 4 or 5 years ago,
It's
yeah.
already leaning the correct way. if it's
yeah,
gonna
they were
fall.
like, oh, it'll go that way, because I was like, do we need to, like, do I need to call you in now? Like, no, it'll go that way, but okay.
So my only question with that is, do we need an arborist to say, like, these trees should stay and these should go? Or does MLA have enough of an understanding of, like, which ones are we going to keep?
So my
Like, when we're doing
understanding
the planning?
from walking through the site when the arborists were here is that it's pretty obvious which trees need to go.
They seem pretty aware.
But, so I think what they're planning to do is they'd say, okay, we're ready to bid out this project, you know, and have like the arborists come in and do work, planning to take out trees X, Y, and Z, and then say, hey, if you come on site and you say we should also take these trees out, then we do that at the time. It's one of those things that it would be like, okay, we think we're 99% sure which trees need to come out, but once they get in there and start pulling stuff,
Yep.
you know, not to mention once they start grading things, you know, you might discover that you damaged a tree's roots.
That's not being kept, yeah.
So,
Okay, yeah, so with that said, then I would agree that we can hold off on the arborist, and when we get to the arborist, before we even hire an arborist.
yeah.
All right, so we're good with MLA then? We're gonna just tell them we're gonna hold off
Yep,
on those other decisions till we just get some more input from the town?
yep.
Okay. Any board members' comments and or observations?
Oh, I just was curious, Drusilla, was there any follow-up on that accident with the young woman?
I ended up leaving a voicemail and then sending an email to the officer who needed the information that he was supposed to get in touch with me, and I ended up, like I said, I was like, I'm sending you an email, and I found his email, and sent him an email. And I haven't heard anything, but Rich Carmignani is dealing with insurance companies, so who knows how long this sort of
Yeah.
thing takes, especially if the police report was delayed, so.
So you don't know if the police report was done yet? You
I don't
submitted?
know. Like I
Okay.
said, I gave him the information,
Mhm.
but whether he has chosen to follow up with the witness or whether he's just gonna be like, here's the name of the witnesses, or what, I don't know.
I don't know, does it, in our interest to get a copy of that report to have?
Well, Rich Carmignani has it, because he's the one who liaises with the insurance company.
Okay.
So I don't talk to the insurance company, he deals with it.
Yep.
so-
Is their insurance company paying for everything?
It should,
I just wanna
it
make sure
should.
they- Yeah.
but Rich is the one who has.
That
to-
would be common sense. Probably
Yeah,
not, it would
I'm
happen.
just making sure that.
But Rich is the one who deals with all of that, because
Yeah.
he's the representative to insurance companies. So as long as he has what he needs, stuff is moving, and he has not. I told him to let me know if he needed anything else, and I've not heard back from him, so I'm going with things are moving.
Unfortunately, he's been through this before.
Yeah.
Even with
It's like
us,
is there
never
a
mind
target
anybody
on,
else.
is there a target there? like
Hey, this time they
bullseye?
turned in the other direction, so at least there's that.
I guess. I guess.
How about a staffing update?
So the position announcement was in the papers and has gone out to all the assorted listservs. The closing date is the 18th, at which point we'll schedule interviews with appropriate candidates and so on and so forth. But in the meantime, we are rather tight, so.
Yep.
We're getting it done, but it's a little tight, so.
Okay.
Well, I wish Patty Luzanowski the best. She
Yes.
was a great staff member. We'll miss her.
Yes.
Certainly.
And I'll just point out that the Friends membership drive will be starting up. A letter will be going out hopefully by the end, just at the printers now, hopefully by the end of the month. And looking for Friends to renew their membership to the Friends of the Library and looking for new members.
New members, yeah. Yeah, most definitely for that.
Oh, that reminds me, I'm sorry if I can interrupt for a second. I want to thank the Friends They purchased for every staff member a fleece jacket with the library logo on it,
Awesome.
and we were all given those yesterday. So everybody's very warm and cozy in our nice fleece jackets, and we appreciate that gesture from the friends.
Medium weight that the public wear in change of seasons in
Yeah.
the library times.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Everybody's been
I didn't
wearing
say
them
it, but it was
except
on.
me, because I always run hot, and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna hang this on my coat rack, and everyone else is like, oh, it's nice and warm.
Lita has two, right?
Yeah, Lita's gonna layer mine over hers.
I actually would like to offer a thank you for the generous donor, William Fife's sister, who is donating some
Please, Doug.
money for some shelving, is what was the gift
Yep.
that was decided upon to the teen room, which will be a wonderful addition. So I definitely thank them for that. And
Ellen is his daughter, isn't it?
Oh, I don't-
Daughter, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, it says sister here, but it
Yeah.
is daughter.
That project sounded like it was gonna be really great. I'm
Yeah,
looking forward to
it's,
seeing the way that turns out.
Yep.
I just heard from the rep at the shelving company yesterday to let me know that she's waiting for one more quote from a vendor so she can give me some options. And then I can pass them on to Ellen for what she would like.
Mhm.
But yes, we're all very excited to have that.
It'll be a nice addition. And the next part would be the determining of when our next meeting will be.
I think maybe we need to wait and see, or,
Okay, we can do that, because we may have some things that come
I
up
was gonna
that
say,
we
MLA
require
may
a
want
meeting.
us
Yeah.
doing something at some
Yeah.
point.
Do we need to notify them that we're not having anything?
Yes, because they asked.
if if we don't, yeah.
Yeah, Drusilla will.
No, I had already told them
Yeah.
that I
Okay,
wasn't
they-
sure when our
Yeah.
next meeting
Okay,
was, and then I
good.
would let them know after today, so.
So, to be determined at this moment,
Yeah.
are we saying? Okay, so the meeting will be to be determined.
It's on the town site for the 22nd.
I don't know.
26th? I know they mentioned it in the email.
They
Are
did.
we okay there?
Yeah, I canceled it because I thought we were
Okay.
trying to do this as
Okay.
a,
But February
But-
22nd is on the calendar, right?
Yes, it
The
is.
calendar.
All
I
right,
just
so it's
leave that there.
scheduled as
Just leave it
February
there.
22nd. If we have to schedule another meeting,
yeah,
then
we
we'll
can
just.
do that,
Exactly.
right.
Yeah, okay. So February 22nd at 6:15 will be our next meeting.
Do we expect that we'll be seeing Mr. Scanlon before that day?
Then that could be a meeting that we have, yes, because I did ask him that I wanted to review it and present it, his findings or his thoughts to the whole board.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
All right, so, do I read this, or does someone else?
I can do
We
that,
have
I can
to
make a
adjourn.
motion.
We have to adjourn?
Do we adjourn this
Yes.
meeting?
I make a motion, yes, and then we have to do roll call, and then we'll do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think. No, maybe not. I think we can do it all as one. I make a motion to adjourn the public meeting of the Board of Trustees to convene into executive session under MGL Chapter 30A, Section 21A2, to conduct strategy session in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel, or to conduct collective bargaining session or contract negotiations with non-union personnel, and not to reconvene into public session.
So moved. Or second. Did you make the motion?
She made the motion.
I'll second it.
And all in
Exactly.
favor, a roll
Whatever she
call
said.
vote, please.
Had Corch, aye.
Kathy Sandstrom, aye.
Joyce Narodzinski, aye.
Ben Craver, aye.
Nicole Kucherov, aye.
All right.
So, regular
We
meeting
are
is over.
closed, Mr. Barron.